Hi everyone, my name's Carter Purvis. I'm a student at the University of South Carolina, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Chinese environmental policy, 中国环境政策。中国环境政策的历史。Chinese environmental policy can be broken into four great leaps, or just different time periods and how they changed. Prior to 1974, there really was no environmental policy in China. In fact, the Chinese government and many of the citizens believed that environmental degradation wasn't something that could happen to socialist countries. They thought it was something that only plagued capitalist countries because of their greed. But this kind of started to change around 1974. And so the first great leap is the period of 1974 to 1988. And here we really have the origins of Chinese environmental policy, just kind of founding of some of these government branches. Really, the government notices issues arising from pollution, but they take very little action to stem them. But at least at this point, it's something that they recognize is potentially happening. Then in the second great leap from 1989 to 1998, they begin to expand their environmental protections in response to increasingly serious ecological problems. So we see very bad water and air pollution start to really kind of plague different parts of China due to industrial expansion. And so they start to put a little bit more restrictions in place, but they're still very loosely enforced. So in the third great leap from 1999 to 2008, China further strengthens the existing environmental protections, so making sure that they're enforcing them a little bit more, maybe creating harsher punishments. And they also start to focus on reducing total sulfur dioxide and reducing energy consumption per unit of GDP. And in 2008, China formally creates the Ministry of Environmental Protection. In the fourth great leap, which takes us from 2009 to the present, China has begun focusing on different renewable energy solutions. They're a huge player in the solar energy market, developing that type of technology. They're also active in wind and hydroelectric power. I believe China is the world's largest producer of hydroelectric power. And then they also begin integrating ecological concerns into other planning activities, so development, construction, those types of things. From here, we're going to move into just a quick discussion of what the biggest ecological problems that China is facing are. 中国最大的环境问题. So we have 空气污染, which is air pollution. Like we talked about before, in cities, smog is horrendous. Beijing is famous for this. But kind of one thing I'd like to point out is coal still accounts for 59% of China's energy consumption. Other sources of this pollution are just large factories. So yeah, different things to note there. Then we have 水污染, water pollution. So dumping of hazardous waste into water sources is poorly managed by the Chinese government, and many people in Chinese cities have no access to clean water for drinking or washing or anything like that. And then I have a quote here, which was taken actually from a different report on the state of the environment in China and how it changed over time. I have the simplified characters as well as the English here on the slide, but the Chinese is 睡在1950年代适合吸大米和蔬菜，在1960年代适合灌溉土地，但是水质在1970年代恶化，雨雷和沙雷在1980年代则往1990年代的水不适合用来兴起马桶盖, which the English is, water was suitable for washing rice and vegetables in the 1950s and for irrigating land in the 1960s, but the water quality deteriorated in the 1970s. Fish and shrimp died in the 1980s, and the water from the 1990s was not suitable for washing toilet lids. Which really, I think, just kind of shows the picture of how bad this problem was and how quickly it evolved for the people of China, who really, let's be honest, the people and the citizens of the country are the ones who bear the burden of most of these environmental problems. So thinking about that going forward, what are some of the repercussions that the people are facing because of the government's actions? So, repercussions of Chinese environmental policy. Here, the link is to a different article from the South China Morning Post, but basically I have a screenshot here attached to the slide. Pollution claims 1.8 million lives in China, latest research says. So basically, what they're studying is deaths related to air and water pollution, and that 1.8 million lives is each year. So right now, currently, it's November of 2020. We're struggling with the coronavirus pandemic worldwide, and especially in the United States. We're really kind of freaking out over almost 200,000 citizens dying, which is very tragic. But looking at this, we can see that almost 9 times more people die each year, pollution-related deaths in China alone, which I really hope helps bring some scale to the issue. And in a lot of cases, the people that are dying are not really responsible for this pollution. It's the government who's allowing companies to continue destroying the environment in a lot of cases. And that's why I wanted to speak about this in relation to the Chinese justice class, just looking at how some people bear the burden of others' actions and whether or not China owes to its citizens to better protect them from the actions of others, especially when it relates to the environment. So thank you so much for looking at my presentation. I hope you have a great day.